The first human in space, Yuri Gagarin's eternal journey. April 12, 1961, the Cold War was at its height, and the Soviet Union and the United States were locked in a space race. Humanity's dream was to set foot in the unknown, but the path to that dream was fraught with death. On this day, an ordinary young Russian man, Yuri Gagarin, made history. Riding a small spherical capsule called Vostok 1, he completed the first full orbit around the Earth. The mission lasted 108 minutes, and the speed was about 27,400 kilometers per hour. The Vostok 1 mission was part of the Soviet Vostok program, which was designed for human spaceflight. The capsule was spherical, weighed about 4.73 tons, and had space for one cosmonaut. It contained an oxygen supply, pressure control, food, water, and communications systems. Attached to the capsule was the instrument module, which housed the engines and fuel. It was launched by an 8KL-72 rocket, which is capable of achieving Earth orbital velocity, about 27,400 kilometers per hour. Orbital velocity is the speed at which an object can orbit Earth in equilibrium with its gravity, without falling or escaping. The rocket had multiple stages. First, 4 strap-on boosters fired, lifting the capsule into the sky. When they were finished, they separated. Then the main engine fired and lifted the capsule higher. Finally, the upper stage delivered the capsule into Earth's orbit. Yuri Gagarin, born in 1934, was an experienced MiG-15 fighter pilot. He was selected from 20 cosmonauts because of his exceptional physical fitness and mental strength. He was 1.57 meters, 5 feet 2 inches tall, which suited the small size of the capsule. His backup was German Titov. At 5:30 a.m. Moscow time on April 12th, Gagarin and Titov were awakened. They had breakfast, put on their spacesuits, which ensured pressure and oxygen supply. The suit was the SK-1 model, designed to survive in a vacuum. At reaching the launch pad, a problem arose while closing the capsule's hatch. The seal was incomplete. Technicians took about an hour to unscrew and reseal it. At this time, Gagarin asked to listen to music on the radio. His heart rate was only 64 beats per minute, extraordinarily quiet. Gagarin said, "I was ready. Everything was fine." At 9:07 a.m. Moscow time, Vostok 1 was launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. Chief designer Sergei Korolev said on the radio, "Preliminary stage, intermediate, main, liftoff. We wish you a good journey. Everything is fine." Gagarin smiled and said, "Poekhali, let's go." The first stage of the rocket, the strap-on booster, separated successfully after 119 seconds, but the second stage engine burned for an extra 0.5 seconds, causing the capsule to go into a higher orbit than planned. Perigee 169 kilometers, apogee 327 kilometers. This was a risk because if re-entry failed, the capsule could have remained in orbit for 10 to 13 days and life support would have ended. But Gagarin remained calm. He looked out the small window of the capsule and a wonderful view opened before his eyes. The blue planet was like a huge pearl, surrounded by a pattern of white clouds. The sunlight shimmered on the sea, as if the sky were reflecting the Earth. This bright planet floating in the silent darkness of space reminded him how beautiful, how fragile the home of humanity is. At that moment, Gagarin was not just a cosmonaut, he was the first person to see the beauty of the Earth through the eyes of the universe. After that, he ate food in a paste-type food tube and drank water, which was to test human physical adaptation to space. His call sign was Keter, Siberian pine. He contacted ground control to get the orbit parameters, but was initially unable to get them. Eventually, everything was confirmed to be fine. Total mission time, 108 minutes, one full orbit around the Earth. Gagarin radioed, "The Earth is incredibly beautiful. I'm fine." The thrill of re-entry began. At 10:25, the braking engine was fired for 40 seconds, but the capsule and instrument module did not separate properly and began to spin, rotating at high speed. Gagarin felt forces in excess of 10 G. This was a serious problem, which unnerved Gagarin. But eventually, the cable burned out and the module separated. The capsule entered the atmosphere, where the temperature outside exceeded 1,000 degrees Celsius due to friction. Heat shields inside and outside the capsule protected it. Gagarin ejected at an altitude of 7 kilometers and landed by parachute at 10:53 on a farm near the Saratov region, 26 kilometers southwest of Engels. The capsule landed separately. He declared, "Mission successful. I am safe." The success of Vostok 1 was a victory for the Soviets, but also for mankind. It showed that people could live, eat, and work in space. Subsequent missions, Vostok 2 through 6, Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, followed suit. Today's SpaceX, Artemis, it all started here. Gagarin's Poekhali, Let's Go, continues to inspire. It is not only the beginning of space travel, but also an eternal symbol of human courage.